Giving a negative feedback to a staff member could be a daunting exercise. It could be very stressful, especially if you're a new leader, a new manager. And it also happens to even the more experienced of us. The bottom line is, when you're giving a negative feedback to a staff member, what you want from them is to understand the message that you're giving so that they can take action later to rectify what hasn't worked. So how can you give that feedback in a way that your staff member will understand your message and also we take action accordingly without taking that message personally? I'm going to share in this video with you one secret that once I discovered helped me give negative feedback very easily and also make my team member take action accordingly and rectify what needed to be addressed. Let's go. Hello everyone, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to my channel, Management Secrets. On this channel, I talk about my experience as a leader, as a manager. I share with you my 10 plus years experience in leadership and management roles. I share with you my success, my failures, so that I hope my success can inspire you and get you to be a better leader, a better manager. But I also share with you my failures, because you don't need to go through all those failures, all those challenges. I want you to go faster than I did. So if you're a manager, a leader, and want to have a second opinion from another peer, or if you're a new manager and want to know what's happening on the ground, what it is to be a manager on the ground, we're talking about practical here, not theories, this channel is for you. I recommend you subscribe to this channel and activate the notification button so you can be notified of all the videos I leave here on a weekly basis for your leadership and management. In this video today, I'm going to share with you how to give a negative feedback to a staff member without your staff member taking that personally, and also with you to feel at ease giving that feedback. Once I discovered this secret, trust me, everything was better for me. I could give negative feedback all the time without saying to myself, oh, how am I going to say it? How is my staff member going to take it? Are they actually going to understand my message and rectify what needs to be rectified? The result that we expect when giving a negative feedback to a staff member is for them not to take it personally, and also for them to take action accordingly. You want them to understand the message. You want them to, once hearing from you, you the leader, they go, okay, I understand, I'm going to work on it and make it better. So while you don't want your staff member, your team member to take it personally, your message also needs to be impersonal. But many times what we see out there is that when leaders or managers are giving a message or a negative feedback to a staff member, all the word they use or all the pronoun they're using are personal pronouns. So how do you want your staff member to not take it personally while you're using pronoun or noun that are addressing straight to the staff member? This is not going to work. And this is what I discovered while giving negative feedback to a staff member. The first thing that I stopped doing is to use the pronoun you. So whenever someone does something that is not positive, whenever someone does something, let's suppose someone is late all the time and you want to tell them that they've been late many times recently and this is not good, this is against performance, this is against the company policy, or the company has zero tolerance towards lateness. You, when talking to your staff member, avoid saying to them, for example, you've been late. I can see that you are always late. Using the pronoun you is taken up personally to the staff member. So obviously, the result you're going to have, the reaction you're going to have is going to be a personal reaction. What I suggest you do is to address the situation. Address the situation of being late. For instance, you might say to them, I've noticed that on your record is being reported to me of your lateness. So you're not saying they're late. You're saying that the fact that they've been late is being reported to you. There's a difference here. You're not addressing directly to them. You're addressing the situation. For instance, you can also say, I can see on your file, there's been a lot of latenesses reported to me. How do you think that your lateness is going to impact the group? Again, you're not saying they're late. You're saying that the fact of being late is going to impact the group, and you ask him questions. When giving negative feedback, you want to understand the understanding of the person, and this is it. You don't want to assume they understand what you're going to say. You want to first understand if they understand the situation, if they see things the same way as you do, as the manager, as the leader. So this is why you might come first and maybe ask them how they're feeling for the day, how's the job been, and then you go on addressing the issue directly. Don't go around the bushes, just dive in, but again, don't address it personally. Talk about the situation. You've been late recently, it's not going to work. And also, after addressing a negative feedback, you want to know, or you want to understand they understood you, so you might have to ask them, what did you understand by this meeting? And later on, you want to ask them how you are going together to work on this. So another thing that I've used and I've learned later on in my career, not in the beginning obviously, is that when you are talking to a staff member, especially about something that wasn't positive, you want to ask them later, how are we going to work on it? What can we do about it? How can we make sure it's not going to happen again? You see, I'm not saying to them, how are you going to make sure it doesn't happen again? How are you doing this and stuff like that? This is not helping the staff member. This is particularly pointing finger at someone, and you are there to help your team members. You want to help them get better. So you also need to include yourself into the situation. So when asking for how things can be fixed, is not telling them or asking them, what are you going to do later? What are you doing here? What can you do to make it sure it doesn't happen again? You rather want to ask, how can we make sure it doesn't happen again? And also, you as a manager want to help them by saying, how can I, your leader, help you making sure it doesn't happen again? And you might be surprised by asking this kind of question. You might be surprised how your staff member is going to come back to you with maybe a suggestion or two as to how you can help them get better, because your role as a manager, as a leader, is to help your staff get better. So don't forget this. First thing is, avoid using the pronoun you when talking about a situation. Talk about the situation in general without addressing it particularly and personally to your staff member. And secondly, you also want to ask later how things can be improved by using the pronoun we. How can we make sure this doesn't happen again? How can we make sure you improve? And to finish, you might ask, how can I, your leader, help you get better with this? I hope it helps you. If it did help you, give me a thumbs up. And also, if you don't want to miss any tip like this, practical tip like this on management and leadership, if you are passionate about leadership and management and want to improve your skills, you want to subscribe to this channel and activate the notification button so you won't miss any other videos I leave here on a weekly basis for your leadership and management. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.